Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your Gabriel. I hope everyone had a great day today. I definitely did, and I hope everyone who's watching this video is also having a great day as well. Now, usually AEW is on Wednesdays. Usually, I talk about Dynamite, the A Show, the best professional wrestling show on the planet, at least in my opinion. Okay. Usually I talk about AEW Dynamite tonight. Obviously, that's not the case as AEW has been moved to Saturdays because of the NHL hockey playoffs. And yeah, it kind of sucks, not gonna lie, because usually I get all excited for Dynamite on Wednesdays. But hey, we're gonna get it on a Saturday, which is very, very awesome. But yeah, instead of talking about AEW Dynamite tonight, I want to talk about the AEW effect. Now, some of you might be wondering, hey, Gabriel, what is the AEW effect? Can you explain? Well, sure, viewer, I would definitely explain. Okay, the AEW effect is WWE doing very suspicious actions because of AEW, which is funny. Because didn't Vince McMahon say that AEW is not competition or AEW is not at the level of WCW? Okay, and a lot of people on social media say that Tony Khan is obsessed with Vince McMahon. Personally, that's the other way around. Vince McMahon is obsessed with Tony Khan and AEW. And I got some actual evidence to back it up. Now, Vince McMahon doesn't go on interviews and downright say it, but there's been some suspicious activity for the last couple months, okay, suggesting otherwise. Now, before I talk about it, let me give you a little refresher. Because yes, Vince McMahon did say that AEW is nowhere near the competition as WCW was. He legit said that. So I'm going to read this from BleacherReport.com. If you guys want to read the article for yourself, the link is in the description. But here's what it has to say. While AEW has firmly established itself as the number 2 wrestling promotion, a pro wrestling company in North America during its 2 years of existence, personally, it's number 1, but that's just me. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon is sweating on the upstart promotion. During WWE's second quarter earnings call Thursday, McMahon was asked about AEW, how much it is investing in its roster and the progress it has made in terms of competing with WWE. According to WrestlingInc.com Mark Middleton, McMahon said the following in response. Well, it certainly is not a situation where rising tides, because that was when WCW owner Ted Turner was coming after us with all of Time Warner assets as well. That was a different situation. AEW is where they are. I don't really know what their plans are. All I know is what our plans are. I don't consider them competition in a way that I would consider WCW back in the day. Not anywhere near close to that. Interesting. And Nick Khan, WWE President and Chief Revenue Officer Nick Khan, expanded on that school of thought Thursday. I think the way we always look at these situations, it's sort of like a horse race where the horse has blinder on. We are looking straight ahead at our lane and making sure that we stay in front of the pack. At the same time, everything's our competition. Someone had a line a couple weeks ago that we all chuckle at and agree with. Sleep is our competition, right? So that's basically what Tony Khan said and what Vince McMahon said as well. But I just think it's very interesting that Vince McMahon is not treating AEW like at serious competition like they treated WCW was back in the day. But ladies and gentlemen, I got some evidence that proves otherwise. So without further ado, let's talk about all the times the AEW effect took place. Like all the suspicious activity WWE has been doing because of the AEW effect. So let's start off with the first one. The one that started it all. Let's first talk about NXT. Now, obviously, when AEW Dynamite got announced to be on Wednesday, Vince McMahon put NXT on Wednesdays on purpose to see if they can go toe-to-toe with AEW. Obviously, that was not the case. NXT definitely lost the Wednesday Night Wars against AEW. And because of NXT's failure, then Vince McMahon decided to reset NXT. That is very interesting. Now, why would Vince McMahon all of a sudden now want to reset it? Like, if Vince McMahon didn't like NXT, and it shows because WWE and Vince McMahon misuse 90% of NXT talent that come up from the main roster. How half of them haven't even got the opportunity to break the glass ceiling because of Vince McMahon and WWE. Now, obviously, there are a few superstars that managed to break out of that glass ceiling, that managed to grab that brass ring, but it's incredibly rare. And there are more failures than success to come out of NXT 1.0. And 90% of the time, actually 99% of the time, it's not the talent's fault. It's Vince McMahon's and WWE's fault for not booking them correctly and not putting time and effort into the characters. Okay? So, yeah, it's like honestly, if Vince McMahon was not booking these NXT characters right from NXT 1.0, you would think that Vince McMahon would want to reset you would think that Vince McMahon and WWE would want to reset NXT. But instead, Vince McMahon wanted to reset NXT after NXT lost to AEW. Interesting to say the least. It's almost like the AEW effect took effect, if you know what I mean. Let's go to the second example. This was when Big E won the WWE Championship, right? So, yeah. So, for 2 weeks, right? AEW was beating WWE in the demos for 2 weeks in a row. Okay. And I just think it's funny that WWE decided to hotshot. They decided to do Big E's successful cash-in early. They even announced it. They even announced the cash-in and everything on social media on Monday Night Raw just to get as much eyes as possible. Now, obviously, honestly, like, yeah, like, you can argue that this is because of AEW beating WWE in the demos, or just Monday Night Raw having shitty ratings because WWE absolutely fucking suck at their jobs. That WWE decided to instead save Big E's cash in for a special moment. They decided to announce the cash in on social media for Monday Night Raw that night. And I think it's curious that AEW still managed to beat WWE in the ratings that week as well. So yeah, that's all I gotta say there. You can because yeah, like it's kind of like you can say that it was because AEW was beating WWE in the demos. That's why I put it on this list. Okay, I just think it's a bit suspicious that WWE decided to absolutely hotshot Big E's special moment because AEW was beating WWE in the demos. Almost like the AEW effect took place. Now this, oh my God, example number 3, Exhibit C. Okay, you can tell the AEW effect definitely took place on this next example. AEW Grand Slam, what considered to be probably one of the biggest shows, if not the biggest show AEW has ever produced. Okay, they are putting Dynamite on one of the biggest arenas in the world, if not the biggest. No, it's the biggest arena in the world. Well, not in the world, but in the United States. Okay, at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Okay, that week specifically, WWE decided to do a New Day versus Bloodline matchup for absolutely no reason on Monday Night Raw. Okay? Like, you can tell that was a desperation move by WWE. Almost like the AEW effect took place. Okay? Yeah, because AEW with Grand Slam, it was their biggest show all year. Okay? Not only that, but they had Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, which ended up being the best, probably one of the best matches, if not the best matchup all year, and what is considered to be one of the biggest dream matches of all time. Okay, happening on that show. WWE responded with a New Day versus Bloodline matchup with no story, like with no build-up whatsoever. It just happened for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Okay, now if AEW wasn't big of a competition like WCW was back in the day, why would Vince McMahon put a big matchup on Monday Night Raw, a pay-per-view worthy matchup on Monday Night Raw with no build-up whatsoever? Almost like Vince McMahon was desperate because of the AEW effect. Just saying. But we're not done there. Exhibit D, my next example, which is actually extremely current. Okay? So SmackDown, right? It's this Friday. On FS1. But here's the thing that is very, very interesting, right? WWE decided to, instead of making SmackDown 2 hours long, which is usually the time slot for SmackDown every Friday. Instead, they decided to make this supersized SmackDown 2.5 hours long. Basically, the SmackDown show is going to bleed into AEW Rampage's time slot. Not only that, but SmackDown is getting WWE is putting everything on this SmackDown show. We're getting a Brock Lesnar appearance. We're getting Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. You're getting all these big things. WWE is putting effort into making this supersized SmackDown so much bigger, so special. They're trying to put effort into making this show as big as possible. Not only that, but the last hour, the hour that is bleeding into Rampage's time slot, is also commercial free. Okay? Why would WWE go through all that trouble to do that? Okay? Why would they go through all that trouble to do that? Almost like WWE is worried that they might get beat by AEW Rampage, i.e., the AEW effect. Okay? And lastly, my last example on the AEW effect taking place, both also current as well. Both AEW and WWE is going to have Long Island shows, right? Raw is going to make an appearance on Long Island, New York on November 29th, and Dynamite is going to make their appearance in Long Island, New York on December 8th. Now, obviously, it's too close to call, and anything can happen. But currently, right now, the statistics are on WrestleTix. And again, if you guys want to see the tweet for yourself, if you guys want to see the statistics right now on the ticket sales on both the November 29th episode of Monday Night Raw and the December 8th episode on AEW Dynamite, both being held in the UBS Arena in Long Island, New York. If you guys want to see the statistics on that, the link is in the description. But currently, as of right now, Raw's tickets, so the available tickets for Monday Night Raw is 4,397 tickets. And the tickets that have been distributed is 2,800, and WWE only managed to sell 2,837 tickets out of 7,234 tickets, which is only 39%. While AEW Dynamite, which is happening a month later on December 8th, they're selling 2,163 tickets, which is obviously less of Monday Night Raw, but they already sold, as of right now, 7,536 tickets out of 9,699 tickets, which is a whopping 78%. 78%. Raw's tickets, they only managed to distribute 39% of their tickets, while AEW Dynamite, okay, has managed to distribute 78% of their tickets. And because of this, the UBS Arena made a tweet basically saying this: just announced, the head of the table, Universal Champion Roman Reigns, will be live at the UBS Arena for Monday Night Raw on November 29th on a Raw show. Basically, WWE just announced, well, obviously, maybe WWE definitely gave UBS this news that Roman Reigns will make an appearance at the UBS Arena during a Monday Night Raw show. Okay? It's almost like the brand split doesn't even matter to the company anymore. I just think it's very, very interesting that AEW is doing much better in ticket sales right now in Long Island, New York than WWE. Almost like the AEW effect taking place. And before I keep talking about this, right? I just want to say this. So Just Alex, right? By the way, go subscribe to Just Alex. Just Alex, Just Alex is one of the best YouTube content creators on this channel. I love Just Alex. Just Alex makes some of the best wrestling videos ever. And plus his opinions are fair and Just Alex is just absolutely incredible. If you guys love professional wrestling, I do recommend you go to Just Alex. Just Alex makes some of the absolute best wrestling content in all of the internet wrestling community. So yeah, go subscribe to him if you haven't. He's just absolutely incredible. And yeah, when you go, just tell him that the Pop Culture Asylum sent you. But yeah, Just Alex said on Twitter and about this entire of Roman Reigns coming to Monday Night Raw on the November Roman. Oh my God, I can't even speak tonight. Just Alex made a comment on Roman Reigns coming to Monday Night Raw on the 29th in the Long Island, New York show, and he said this perfectly. Here's what he had to say: WWE, this needs to stop. Roman Reigns can't save your creatively bankrupt Raw shows every time you fail to draw an audience. If you're going to break your own rules and insult your audience intelligence, just end the brand split and unify the belts. Definitely well said. Well said by Just Alex. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't mind WWE doing this if they just end the brand split. Okay? Some shows are going to definitely fail. Obviously, that's WWE's fault. And I just think it's funny that WWE doesn't have faith on any other superstar that is on the Raw roster to try to carry the show. They had to rely on the biggest star that they have, Roman Reigns, to come to Monday Night Raw to try to save it, to try to improve the ticket sales. Just breaking the brand split and everything. Bro, if you're just going to do this to improve your ratings, if you're going to try to bring Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch and the Usos to Monday Night Raw to try to improve the ratings and trying to improve ticket sales, then just end the brand split. There's no reason to have this brand split. And honestly, I wouldn't mind the New Day and Bloodline matchup happening when it did if they just ended the brand split. You see why myself and a good amount of people want the brand split to end. You know what I mean? But yeah. But that's the logical conclusion. Apparently, WWE don't understand logic. So that's basic. Very well said. Very, very well said by Just Alex. But yeah, those are basically some of the biggest examples of the AEW effect happening. Okay? All these actions that WWE did is all because of the AEW effect. But AEW is not as big as competition as WCW was all these years ago. I find that very, very hard to believe. And again, a lot of people like to accuse Tony Khan of being obsessed with Vince McMahon and WWE, but not many people are saying that Vince McMahon is obsessed, if not more obsessed with AEW. More like they're afraid of AEW, of how big they have been. Okay? The tides are slowly changing, ladies and gentlemen. The tides are slowly changing. And it is changing in AEW's favor. Okay? WWE, this is a wake-up call. Okay? This is an absolute wake-up call. Okay? Because right now, AEW is making you sweat your balls off. Okay? And WWE has no one to blame from themselves. WWE didn't even have to worry about AEW if they just if they just give the consumer a great product. But no. Instead, they just decided to become lazy and more lazy and more lazy in both a business aspect and creative aspect. Okay? Yeah, WWE has no one to blame from themselves. Like, WWE didn't even have to worry about AEW if they just gave the consumer a great product. But now they're fucking worried. Okay? They're doing all of this. Okay? Just to make sure AEW doesn't get ahead of them. Even though in reality, that's exactly what is happening. Okay? But yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. Like, this video is to basically educate some of you people in the IWC that Vince McMahon is just as obsessed with AEW, if not more obsessed with AEW. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. Okay? But yeah, that's all I got to say on that. Thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. If you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. And if you guys like the wrestling content that I make sure you subscribe and leave the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. But until next time, this is Gabriel, and I'll see you next time in the asylum. Have a nice night, everyone.